Hey friends, ready for a little chat cam update? Here we go. Welcome to the vlog. So welcome back friends. Good morning. It's June 20th. And Rollins and I are currently doing the last little bit from Ottawa to the Lazy Rock Resort Campground in Mattawa, Ontario. So as I was coming back from Old Quebec City in the shuttle at the last campground, so Camping Transit, they have a really cool service that they offer, this free shuttle that takes you down to the ferry in Lévis, Quebec, and you catch the ferry across the St. Lawrence River into Old Town, Quebec City. So I went down there and took a bunch of pictures. That video was probably the one before this one, if I get my act together. On the way back, I was talking to a couple, and we were talking about YouTube and YouTubers and how they follow a certain couple of YouTubers. So I was picking their brain a little bit on like what people want to see and how I approached my YouTube channel in the beginning and how it's been and that kind of thing. And what came up was actually something that you guys have mentioned a few times as well, is I don't really share the day-to-day much, and I definitely don't really share the challenges. And I've touched on this before, and it was kind of one of those things where it's just like I don't ever want to feel like I'm whining or that I'm like looking for help or support or whatever. I'm kind of doing this channel as just a way to share, not as a way to, for lack of a word, shield myself. But I'm starting to think that maybe there's a bit of that needs to be done to kind of help keep this thing going, because right now I'm literally on the razor's edge. I'm not gonna lie. Some of you guys want some reality. Well, I'm about to drop some. That said, first off, I want to make sure that anybody watching this knows that in the state of the world right now, with the economy flopping, the government driving us into the ground once again, and things going on in Europe with Ukraine, there's not a single bit of this video that is me complaining. I'm not complaining. I still feel very, very lucky that I get to do what I'm doing, even though the reality I'm about to drop is not exactly pleasant. But the fact of the matter is I'm not running for my life from some psychopath dictator wannabe, and my choices in life have left it so that I'm not struggling to feed a family and stressing out about that, or anything like that. So yeah, my stresses are my stresses, but in the big picture, I just want to make sure that people know that I'm not complaining about this. I'm not whining. The last thing I want is to be considered a whiner. So, as most of you know, this truck's old. It's a 2006. It's pushing 500,000 kilometers. I'm not sure what that is in miles. I'll do the math and put it in text underneath here. But it's getting up there. It's getting long in the tooth. That's the first thing. Trailer's old. It's mid-90s. But to be honest, it's serving me well, and I'm not, I don't have too many issues with the trailer. I'll happily tow that trailer with a newer truck one day. But lately, and the pandemic did not help situations at all. My only concern, my only beef with this lifestyle right now, my only warning in being a digital nomad is when things go south with employment, with jobs, with income, which they can. That's the stress for me right now. So basically, every time I get in this truck, I'm a little worried that something might break down, something might happen. Okay. Now, try getting in this truck and knowing that you have a good 7 hours drive ahead. You're going to split that up between a couple of days, no big deal. But the 7 hours of driving that you have, you are basically doing with about $200 padding from your gas budget. Let that sink in for a second. So leaving Camping Transit, coming to Lazy Rock in Mattawa, I wasn't even sure that I had enough gas money to make it. I was pretty confident, but I mean, you get a serious headwind, who knows, right? You get lost. I don't usually get lost unless it's intentional, but you know, shit happens. So far so good though, because I'm actually over budgeted. Like, I actually had a little bit extra. So basically this truck does about 200 to 300 kilometers when towing on a tank of gas. So this leg is almost 800 kilometers. So with the current price of gas, I basically factored that I was possibly going to need about $600 to go 768 kilometers, I believe. So while I was in Levy, I went into Costco one day and got a few groceries and gassed up and went back to the trailer and basically had a full tank. So then I went online and double checked where the other Costco's were, if there was any on my route, because I know I was going through Montreal and Ottawa, and sure enough, I found one in Montreal that was basically just turn off the highway, there it was, back on the highway, good to go. So we utilized that yesterday, and then I found another one in Ottawa that was basically kind of a loop around, but it kind of cut off a bit of the drive as well, so it didn't actually change the mileage. A little bit more suburban driving that I wanted, but whatever. Not a big fan of stoplights that aren't synced, put it that way. I saved a little bit of money there, utilizing, you know, the cheaper prices in Costco. When I left Levy, gas at the pump was $223.9, and thankfully it's actually getting a little cheaper as we go west. Ottawa was $197.9, so it is dropping, which is good. But basically, the reality of my situation is I'm just not bringing in enough money. And the stupid part, this is the part that's so frustrating, is I've minimized everything so that I didn't have a lot of expenses. I don't have rent, I have solar, I don't need campgrounds. I don't technically, you know, if I had to pay for the campgrounds that I'm staying in, I wouldn't be staying in them because I don't need them, right? I have solar, I have everything I need. I just happened to come across this trade idea, and it's been working, and people are getting value out of it. Both the last two campgrounds of this trip, they're ecstatic with their videos. They're, you know, like, they let me stay an extra day. Rock from Camping Transit stopped by at my last night and gave me a gift of like a t-shirt and more of his beer, and you know, like a little beer cozy. All, you know, like they're labeled with, you know, they're branded with his brand, like they're his merch, but still, I mean, he didn't have to do that, right? We made a deal. He got what he needed, and I got what I needed, and you know, stuff like that. So things are going well, and I like doing it, and I meet more people because I'm in a campground with other people, but technically I don't need them. So that said, my expenses are low, and that's the frustrating part, is I don't even need to be making $2,000 a month. Like, I don't. You know, when I was was talking to the company I used to work for about how many hours I'm available and how many hours I need, it basically became, well, I'm available for 40 if you want 40, because now I do have credit card debt that I'm trying to deal with. So it'd be nice to get that down faster. But essentially, to live, 20 hours a week would be awesome, because it still frees me up to do this, still frees me up to do the videos and my photography and focus enough time on that stuff, but then also is enough hours to pay for gas and food, you know, the odd things like Netflix, which right now currently is canceled, you know. And that's why I spent all winter at my sister's place working on side hustles, trying to find different streams of income that would basically allow me to get to that point where I was making enough to sustain this while doing some, you know, managing of those businesses in the morning, and then having the rest of the day to do this kind of thing and my photography and that kind of thing. You know, I wasn't even approaching those on, you know, like following all the YouTubers. Well, you can make $10,000 a day by selling t-shirts on Etsy. No, you can't. I didn't fall for any of that. I wasn't expecting to be a millionaire. I just wanted a few things to work. And there's a little bit coming in, but nothing like anybody on YouTube would have you believe, you know. And that's the thing too. It's like, when it comes down to even this channel, yeah, I'm sharing, I guess, the good parts, but I'm not exaggerating, you know. And right now, I guess I'm not sharing enough of the real day-to-day stuff either. So that's kind of where this video is based. It's like, you wanted some reality? Here's some reality. I'm going to get into this campground, and I'm going to have probably half a tank of gas, a stocked fridge. The dog has food, the dog has treats. I'm going to have everything I need for 2 weeks, and then I have to hunker down. And while doing the video and the pictures for the campground, fulfilling those obligations, I'm going to be basically looking for everything I can do again online to make another $600 so I can make it to the next spot on July 4th is when I have to leave. So that's the reality. So yeah, those are my stresses. That's what's going on with me. This lifestyle is the one that I've chosen. I'm an adult. I made this choice. I knew what I was getting into. Things changing, jobs changing, pandemics coming along, having to live on a credit card for a while that gets you into some more trouble again. The frustrating part about that is I was officially 100% out of debt when I started this. I don't want to tell you how much I owe now on my credit card, but yeah, so currently it's not pretty. I'm still trying to do it. I owe it to myself to just kind of keep plugging away until things change or I can't. And that's where I'm at. Aside from that, I'm fine. Rollins is fine. Slowly making our way west. So my situation over the past basically 2 years has led me obviously looking at different ways to make an income. And one of those things that popped up, I mentioned this in my side hustle video, is the whole NFT thing, specifically NFTs as photography, because I'm a photographer. So I was looking into that. I am still involved in that. I do have photo NFTs available for anybody who's into that and looking at the whole Web3 thing and possibly collecting, you know, one-of-one photography NFTs or edition photography NFTs. I have both now. But what I'm getting at is when I started researching that is when I basically kind of went down the whole crypto rabbit hole. So in that, I started just basically consuming everything that I could about NFTs and crypto and started looking at how other people are making, Lamborghini money. And I'm like, okay, so what, do people actually do this? They invest in a coin, it goes up, they cash out, whatever. And it is a thing, people are doing it. Whatever your thoughts on cryptocurrencies are, those are your thoughts. I think there's definitely a big risk in a lot of it. I think the whole NFT as profile pictures, I think that's a big bubble. That's going to pop. A lot of people that, spend Rolex money on a cartoon ape are going to be feeling a bit of a pinch later on. But I mean, whatever. I'm going to get into all that in my NFT video when I finally finish it. But as far as cryptocurrencies go in general, I believe there's definitely value there, and I definitely believe that there's things there that are going to be around for a very, very long time. Bitcoin being one of them. I don't really think it's going anywhere. Ethereum, you're probably pretty safe with. But yeah, what I'm getting at is basically I've been consuming as much information on crypto investing, the ups and downs of the market. I'm learning more about markets, and that's not just crypto markets. I mean, it applies to stock markets too. Bull market versus bear market. Dollar cost averaging, all this kind of stuff that's basically new to me. So I have been learning all that stuff. And to be honest, this is kind of a Wayne catch-22 that I find myself in quite often. Is right now there's kind of an opportunity that if you're doing your research and you're being careful and you're looking at the right things, if you have some money to put in, you can make life-changing money, because the market is going down. All the stocks, regular stocks are going down, crypto's going down, everything is basically getting close to the bottom. How do regular people become millionaires? They take a chance on something at the bottom, buy in, wait, and when it gets to the top or close to the top, they sell it. That's the whole idea of the stock market. Buy low, sell high. And right now is perfect buying opportunity, and here I am sitting with empty pockets. If I had $10,000 right now, like just, blam, there's 10 grand, 8 of it right now would be, I'd put it into something. Because in a year from now, 2 years from now, that something's going to be, if not double or triple. Yeah. I wouldn't be worrying about selling t-shirts, that's for sure. But I continue to grind on, my friends. I'm remaining positive, remaining hopeful that things are going to turn around. Like I said, I don't need a lot. And if I can get to a point where, one of these job applications that I've been applying, don't get me wrong, I'm applying for like 15, 16 jobs a week. Granted, they're all remote, they're online. They're all people looking for my skills, the stuff that I do on a regular basis, that I can do, that I've done before, everything. But I think the pandemic basically made it possible, or made people realize that, hey, instead of going into my graphic design job, I want to work from home. And all those different situations are my competition now. So that's where we're at. That's a bit of an update, as discombobulated as it might be. But yeah, Rollins is in the back having his post-poop nap. Aren't you? You lazy bum. Knock on wood that the truck holds out for a little while longer. Like I said, I'll continue doing this until I can't. If you want to help out, feel free to like and subscribe. Those always help. Watch more videos. If you're in the market for a funny t-shirt, check out my link to my Etsy shop in the description. If you're in the market for some photographic art, there's a link in the description. Prints, canvases, all that kind of stuff. I sell basically I'll sell, any photograph that connects with you. If you don't see it available as a print somewhere and you want a print of it, just reach out to me. I'll literally personally walk through the process, figure out what size you want, what medium you want, and we'll figure out a good price and we'll get it to you. So yeah. And one more thing I wanted to throw out is I'm coming up on my 200th video. Not including the vlogs, those are kind of separate. But as far as the main videos, I'm in the last 10 before 200. I think the camping transit video was 190, yeah. So basically 9 more to go. And on my 200th one, I want to do a question and answer video because I haven't done one of those for a long time. So basically ask me anything. And I also want to do a giveaway. So basically if you ask a question, I will put your name in the hat, so to speak. So basically we'll have a random generated giveaway for a photo. So basically if you want to be in that draw, then ask your question. If I get duplicate questions, I'll just answer the question once, but if it's kind of a popular question or whatever, I'm not going to penalize people for asking the same question as somebody else, so everybody's name gets in the draw. Keep watching the videos. Check out the future videos after this one for more mention on photo options. I'll probably kind of pick 4 photos and the winner gets to choose one of those, and I'll decide on the size that at this point that I can afford, but I will give away a print and send it to the winner. So with that said, I'm going to sign off now. Like I said, Rollins is good, I'm good. Just wanted to give you a little update, give you a little bit of my reality, since some people might be interested in that. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.